Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music and it's Gizmo Sunday. And the Gizmo is Skyedrift from Glencoe Audio, a Kontakt player and, of course, full Kontakt sample library. It's got 3 slots that you can fill with this beautifully curated collection of sounds. And if you want like the quick too long did not read version, this is the instrument to go to for those beautiful Johan Johansson. Is it a noise? Is it a pad? Is it an instrument? What is that sound quality? Man, this thing just kills for that Scandinavian scoring vibe. Let's take a look at it. Glencoe very graciously sent this to me, and I'm just getting started with it. And we have the init patch up, you know, the very initial thing. And you know, I've played around with it a bit. So right away, we've got 3 main pages. And in the main page here, we're looking at a stack of 3 samples at once. The stack is playing Alone, which is one of many possible samples it could be playing out of these 7 categories, a bunch of samples, etc. It's also playing cello swells and also playing whispers at the same time. Now in stack mode, this is great. It's going to start with Alone and then bring in the cello swells and then bring in whispers, which is like a noise source on the top. Now, there are tons of great presets. Let's just take a look at the categories, and we'll talk a little bit about the synth engine in a moment as well. These designed presets give you just tons of possibilities. I mean, the drones are probably the thing that most people are going to go to first because it's just so satisfying. We're combining 3 layers. Each layer has a number of controls, and there are some just obvious conventional things. There are a couple of things about this which weren't obvious to me right away. Here in this slot, Tennessee, a pan control, I'm just going to pull this all the way back again to just Tennessee. We'll take it left or right. We have level and normal ADSR controls. Right now it's starting kind of slowly. Now, I didn't notice this right away at first, but at the bottom, these 2 panels here, LFO1 and LFO2, can be assigned to any one of the knobs that displays this tiny little thing here. So now I assign the LFO in a positive way to control the pan. I can also flip it off to the other side as well. Now it just kind of like inverts the phase. Cool, right? We could also do that with any other knob that displays these little wings on them. Includes the velocity control and things like that. And if I go over into the master control, things like having filter cutoff could be really, really useful, right? There we go. Now we're in the center. Well, immediately I've got a more interesting, lively sound. And I'm listening to that Berenbaum sound, and I'm wondering, can I reverse it? I sure can. Do you hear that gorgeous, just noisy, loud, crazy sound? Okay, this is what I'm looking for in this kind of instrument. The fun of digging in and playing around with it. There are, of course, effects. Each of these panes, right now I'm looking at the waveform view of it. Let's go to hover and click effects. And now I've got a bunch of things that I can choose. I can also select one and change its position. See, I'm moving delay up. I think a couple of them stay put, like the high pass filters always has to be last or something like that. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to think about, oh, it's so lovely. Select that filter. I'm going to animate it a bit. Nice. There's two little smiley faces on either side of this, right? I've been playing around with LFO1. I can also play around with LFO2. LFO2 is over here. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. This is fun. Take that rate up. I think I need to play with the panning. There we go. You see what I mean about this thing? It's like everything I play with, I just gnaw contentedly. Let's watch the movie Arrival. In normal mode, right here, as opposed to stack mode, each of these are just controlled by the volume, nothing, and then bring it in. Over here in the master channel, you've got some basic things, including, and this is worth mentioning, the new Raum, R-A-U-M, reverb that's in Kontakt 7. It's pretty processor intensive, so I'm going to say within each sound, probably turn off reverb and leave it just on the mains because it can start to eat up processor cycles for you. Master filter, drive, saturations, it's all there. A limiter so that you don't go over the top. There's a kind of a random sample start button down here. And when it's on, I think it's pretty useful because every time you cut into a sample, and some of these samples are 45 seconds long, it's at a different place in the sample, and that's it gives it a little more vitality. These singles patches are interesting. So singles patch is just like a normal layer where you're basically playing an instrument. You can see we've muted out two of these channels. So this is just one instrument sound. I'll tell you what, this Starling patch is just gorgeous, built around guitars. These texture patches are great. Now check them out. They're really just like air, noise. And they're meant to be layered over the top of tonal material. One of the brilliant pieces of programming that they've done here, and I think it's just so sharp, is when you pitch bend or layer a bunch of sounds, it doesn't bend the pitch of the noise, nor does it add another layer of the noise. So you're just going to hear one of them. It's kind of a top note. Maybe it's a top note choice. So I can play a bunch of notes, and I don't get any, I don't get a giant stack of noise. It's one of the problems with noises in samples. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well, but instead of just hearing the noise, you hear like 5 times the noise, you know what I mean? Well, I could play around with this kind of all day. I think I've shown you everything I wanted to show you. Thanks to Glencoe for sending this my way to check out. And don't hesitate to visit their site to learn more about it. The instrument's on sale right now as I'm recording this for $99. It'll go up at some point in the future. Really useful scoring tool. I'll just describe it in that way, that takes excellent advantage of the kinds of power that you have under the hood here with Kontakt 7. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.